good morning, and welcome back to Quick Conversations. I'm Maria Sabler.
And I'm Lourdes Laper. Stay with us right to the end for some practical practices you can use right away. Today, we're asking a question that most of us answer every single day without even realizing it.
Yeah, have you ever found yourself saying, I'll be happy when? Maybe it's, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or I'll be happy when, when the kids grow up, or I'll be happy when I finally lose that last 10 pounds. We're all chasing something, some version of a finish line. And we tell ourselves that, on the other side is where the peace is.
Yeah, very universal. We tie our happiness to something that is out there, some accomplishment, a milestone. It's such BS. It's like we have this, imaginary map of our life, and our current location is always marked with "you are here, happiness is just ahead." And the problem is, as soon as we reach that goalpost, the map redraws itself. We get the promotion, and suddenly happiness is a corner office. The kids leave home, and now happiness is having grandkids. The goalposts keep moving, and we're left on an endless chase, running forever.
Yeah, we no, definitely we are. And today we're going to challenge that. We're going to challenge that entire belief system with a single stoic idea. If you've truly paid attention to what's happening right now, you've already seen what the past held and what the future will bring, because it's all the same patterns in a new outfit. So, what if the piece you're looking for, instead of being ahead, what if it's already here?
Yeah. We tell ourselves a beautiful lie. We're missing out on some perfect hidden version of life that only exists in the future. Well, it only existed in the past, or will finally arrive to it in the future.
Yeah.
And we cherry pick our memories, right? We look back at college days and only remember the late night talks and the feeling of freedom, completely forgetting the stress of exams, the bad grades, and the very messy relationships.
I, I think that happens to all of us. Everything is golden in the past, right? And our brain's brilliant at this flawed narration of what happened, and it uses confirmation bias to create a story where, like I said, everything in the past is golden. And it uses this hedonic adaptation, where you're constantly chasing, or you're on that treadmill and you're running, but you're never going to get anywhere. It uses that to convince us that a new home, a new job is going to finally make us whole. When in reality, we just get used to it and move on to the next thing to chase. That's the lie of someday.
Yes. And, the truth is, the fundamental human experiences, love, loss, joy, struggle, they're all the same. A breakup in 2024 feels the same as a breakup in 1824. The tech and the scenery might, get an upgrade, but the human heart, the human mind, the human drama, it's a timeless pattern.
Yeah. So, we've established that the false narrative, right? We've established that the lie that happiness is always somewhere else, either in a golden past we've already left behind, or that perfect future that's always just out of reach. And we can all intellectually agree with that, right? We know in our rational mind that wishing for the past is really futile, and living in this fantasy future, it's really just a distraction.
Absolutely, we do. But the problem isn't our intellect, is it? The problem is what's happening underneath. We're not time traveling because we don't understand the concept. We're time traveling because we're running from something in the present moment. And what we're running from, more often than not, is the quiet. We're running from the fear of the same.
Yeah, that's it. Because we're addicted to anticipation. We've been trained, by our culture, by our, it's our conditioning to believe that life is a highlight reel. And we think that if every single moment isn't a new breakthrough, a new thrill, a new achievement, then something's wrong with us, right? We have this deep unconscious fear that our reality is just not enough. And, you know, we're afraid of what's going to happen if we just sit in the stillness. What are we going to find there?
Yeah. And so we start to chase, right? We get a new job, a new car, a new phone, and for a few days it feels like we've won the game. But that feeling always fades because the core belief is still there. The belief that I am not enough unless I'm chasing something new. It's a powerful chain and it keeps us running on a hamster wheel, perpetually waiting for a new set of circumstances to make us whole. But what if we told you that that fulfillment you're searching for is found not in chasing the new, but in finding the beautiful in the familiar?
Yeah. Because the truth is, the raw ingredients of a meaningful life are right in front of you, in front of us, every single day. The opportunity for growth is here in the now, in the present. The chase for a deep connection is here. The struggle and the joy, they're here right now. It's a constant. The scenery might change, the tech might get the upgrade, but the core story of humanity, love, loss, struggle, and joy, is always playing out. We're not missing something hidden, some magical chapter. We're living it right now.
Yeah. And I think we get so worked up over the new drama because we're afraid of the same. We're afraid of boredom. The silence between the notes feels uncomfortable. But what if life isn't a race? What if it's a symphony?
Yeah, we're so busy listening for that perfect, um, finale, or longing for a past moment or a past, movement that will miss the beauty of the note, being played right now. You can't skip a movement and expect to hear the whole song, right? The only way to live the symphony is to be completely present for the sound of the note. And that's, the note that's being played in that very second.
Yeah, the boredom you're running from is actually where the piece is. It's the space between the notes, the quiet rhythm of the familiar. It's the sound of the note that's right here. And the real challenge, the real fight, is to choose to be still and listen to it. And that's where the anxiety kicks in. The discomfort you feel when you're just sitting still, trying to be present, it's real.
Yeah, it's the physical sensation of your mind fighting against its own quiet. But what's the belief underneath that discomfort? Who taught you that the quiet was dangerous? Or what happened that you think that quiet is dangerous. That stillness, who taught you that stillness meant you were lazy or that you weren't good enough? What's the story? What story did you inherit that you have to be in, this constant motion, right? You're constantly chasing, to prove your worth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at that, that's the work right there.
Yeah.
The pain of the past, the deficits, the insecurities, they whisper that the future holds the key to finally being okay. They whisper that the present is too small, too mundane. But a musician who's constantly anticipating the next note or regretting the last one will never truly be in harmony. Their music will be rushed, frantic, and without soul if they aren't present and in the moment.
Right. A symphony isn't defined by a single loud moment. It's defined by the piece, the entire piece. The soft parts make the loud parts meaningful. The pauses make the rhythm work. And the same pattern, the same core patterns that return again and again, they give that whole, the whole piece its structure and its beauty. The quote isn't just about presence, it's about trust. It's about trusting that the pattern of your life, with all its joys and all its sorrows, is a masterpiece in its own right.
Yeah. And, when you trust that, you can play your single note with focus and grace, knowing that you're playing your part in the grand harmony, symphony of it all.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. But you know, let's we'll talk a little bit about what's actually happening in your brain, just a little bit. You know, think of your mind as a corporation, and your amygdala is that which is that panic, is that reactive employee. And that employee, it's a part of you that's terrified of the what if and consumed by if only. It's constantly sending out these stress signals, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can picture this. It's the reason we feel anxiety and regret.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just love that. What if? What if? I can really picture that. And so this is the key. It floods your system with cortisol, right? The stress hormone. So every time you time travel in your mind, you're literally poisoning your body with stress over something that isn't even happening. But you have a calm, rational CEO in your brain, and that's your prefrontal cortex.
Right. It's the part of you that can see patterns and pull back from the emotional chaos. It can sit with a crazy employee filled up with anxiety. It knows that the problem you're facing today is just a new outfit on an old pattern. It's seen this before. It's experienced it. It can handle this. The goal of living in the present is to train your CEO to override that panicked employee, to override the amygdala. The more you do it, the practice, the stronger that calm, rational CEO within you becomes.
Absolutely. And so, how do we get out of the time traveling habit and into the present? We've got you a 4-step framework you can use right now. First, notice the loop. Your first job is to simply catch yourself. The moment you feel your mind spiraling into the past or fantasizing about the future, just say to yourself, there it is. I'm doing it again. And that simple act of noticing is the first step to freedom. And then name the pattern. Remind yourself, This is just a new outfit on an old pattern. I've seen this before. This is cognitive reframing. It takes the power out of the situation by stripping away its novelty.
Right. And then next, anchor anchor in the now. This is a physical practice. Put your feet on the floor and take one deep breath in and hold it. And then notice one color, one single color in the room that you're in, just one. And then, that's your anchor and ground you back in the present moment where you have agency. And then act on what's real. The moment you're anchored, ask yourself, based on what's really right now, what's the next right step? Not the perfect step, not the next, definitely going to be the right one, but, taking a step, moving forward. What do you need to do? You need to make a phone call, you need to send an email, you need to write a sentence, whatever it is, do that one thing. One of the things that we really want to present to you is that your life's not a fantasy. It's a series of moments, and all just as real as this one. The past, the future, they're memories or illusions, and the only place you can ever truly live is right here, right now.
Absolutely. And so we'll leave you with this bit of wisdom from our soon to be released book, A Path to Resilience, Small Steps to an Unshakable You. If you've truly paid attention to what's happening right now, you've already seen what the past held and what the future will bring, because it's all the same patterns in a new outfit.
So this week, your challenge is just to try this just once. The next time you catch yourself spiraling, take a deep breath, hold it. It's all here. And, you just, and you just as you are, know that you are enough. And if you would like to, let us know in the comments below how it's going, how it went. And remember, don't search for a better life. Live the one that you have right now with everything you've got.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. We're walking this path right alongside you. Take care of your heart, take care of your mind, take care of yourself, and support our work by liking, following, subscribing, and sharing this with someone who needs a reminder that they're stronger than they think they are. We'll see you next time.